Hey guys, it is 6 minutes to the end of day one of my third week. Um, so not much of an intro. I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. I didn't finish what I said I wanted to finish today. I had to stay a little bit late at work. I didn't get up as early as I wanted to. And then, however, that's not necessarily a bad thing because, again, the only book I have that I can read um, on as an ebook is The Fate of the Dwarves, which I am 87% done with now. I'm on page 685, which is the beginning of chapter 30. Yeah, the beginning of chapter 30. I am enjoying it. I'm very confused on what's going on, or not what's going on with one of the characters. Marcus Heiss does a really good job. I can't wait to read his final book in this series, which I planned on reading next month. So, like, next month there's the Feel Good-a-thon, and one of the prompts is, like, finish or continue on with the series, and I was thinking about reading The Triumph of the Dwarves, which is the final book in this series. And then I realized that that's also a 700 plus book, and I'd be setting myself up to fail. We'll see. This one, I know I said I wanted to finish part 1. I did read to 111 last night, like before I went to sleep. So, part 1 ends on 172. So I don't know. I have to be at work at 10 tomorrow. So this one is probably also not going to get done. I'll probably stay up and read it, but it's definitely, I have 2 minutes, so it's definitely not going to be done today. So this one, I don't know. I will be prioritizing page count wise The Way of Kings Part 1 after I finally manage to finish this one. So we're just kind of chilling right now. I'm not disappointed. Today was a little hectic. I don't know why I expected it not to be, but it was. So enjoy this first update for week 3. Hopefully I will actually have books finished this week. I feel like I won't. Hey guys, so I'm on page 720, and this is 10:55, so I should finish this one today. And I can't wait. So that's basically my update. I am enjoying it. I'm trying to figure out where it's going, but I'm enjoying it. I'm saying a lot. So I think I'm gonna just make another change. Not even just another one. I'm not saying I'm DNFing Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. It's just I'm not picking it up. Like, I'm not actively searching this book out, and I keep saying just 43 pages a day. That's fine. That's easy, and it is. Except I'm not doing it, so I'm not going to finish this one by the week because I didn't even read the 86 I was supposed to read today. I have not picked this book up. It's definitely longer than I thought it was, so that might be part of the problem. But I'm just not picking it up. I don't think I'm going to have it done by the end of the month. So to get a cap, I'm changing it to Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, because Chamber of Secrets starts with a C. So yes, and I'm finally going to be reading my new edition of them. And this one has the car. Oh, and this is the Weasley house. And on the back, he's at the chamber. this is what I'm going to be reading to get myself a cat. I might work through some more of The Way of Kings, but most likely I will not. I might read the interlude, which I think is 10 pages. So I might read the interlude through The Way of Kings, or I might just stay up and read Chamber of Secrets. So yeah, I am switching these out. I said a TBR, but I am a bit of a mood reader, just the tiniest bit. Like, I like TBRs and challenges, but my challenge, like, I always end up changing what book. I'm sorry if you watched, like, my TBR and was, like, excited for me to read a specific book, and then I changed it. It just is what it is. So Chamber of Secrets. I don't think I've reread this one recently, so I'm kind of excited. With 11 minutes to spare, I have finished The Fate of the Dwarfs by Marcus Heights. And oh, the emotions. I'm kind of concerned about how the last book in the series will take. Something happens at the end of this that makes me concerned about how the next book will go. But I did love this one. I'm giving it, I think I'm going to give it 4. Just because for a little bit, I didn't necessarily want to pick it up. And it's kind of like Crazy Rich Asians. While I enjoy it while I was reading it, there was a time where if I didn't want to read it. Like, if I was reading it, I was enjoying it. But, like, if I set it down, I wouldn't necessarily want to pick it up. That happened with me the entire way through the 10,000 Doors of January, and it's kind of happening to me now with Crazy Rich Asians. So this one, it was only, like, the beginning, which is understandable. So, like, his beginnings are always long because he's introducing you to characters. And sometimes it's long because he's reintroducing you to characters and explaining their situations. And this one's even longer because you're being reintroduced to characters and their situations, as well as adding, like, a million new characters, because this book takes place, like, it's been a while, and so, like, all of the human characters have all died out. So basically everyone has, like, this extended life except for humans, and so, like, all of the human characters that we followed in the previous books had died. So, not spoiling, you figure that out, like, first chapter, so, like, after the prologue. And so you're being introduced to, like, all of their descendants and, like, some new characters that, like, aren't even related. So that's that. Hey, I ended up changing shirts. That one was uncomfortable to sleep in. So I finished the interludes, or the first set of interludes for The Way of Kings Part 1 by Brandon Sanderson. I love my kitty. And I managed to read to page 65 or chapter 5, The Whomping Willow, of The Chamber of Secrets. But it is 1:53. I have to be at work at 10, so I'm going to bed. Hey guys, I think it's day 3. I'm pretty sure it's day 3. Might be day 4. No, 15, 16. So it is 3. Sorry. That was my cat. One of the other cats went to her, and she's annoyed. So, I have finally figured out what I'm gonna do for dog. Finally figured out what I am to get a dog. And me and my mom are gonna buddy read Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. So this is the 3rd book in the Harry Potter series. If you don't know what Harry Potter is about, it's about a wizard going to wizarding school and a Dark Lord. Prisoner of Azkaban takes place in his 3rd year at the school, and lots of stuff happen. So I'm gonna give her this edition, which is from the same series as my Chamber of Secrets. So this is what the Prisoner of Azkaban cover looks like. Oh, guys, you haven't met this one, I don't think. This is Ripley. Not Ripley. This is Tigger. Tigger, look at the camera. There we go. That's Tigger. Ripley's coming too if you want to see him again. So she'll be reading this one. That was Ripley. And I'm going to be reading this one. I got the illustrated edition, and oh my god, this cover is so... It's a big book. It's a thick one. And this is Night Bus, so I'm super excited about that. Oh, guys, look at the end pages. Why do these Dementors kind of look like Scream, though? Like, kind of looks like Scream. So I will be reading this edition, and I'll probably be letting Mom read it eventually. So after I finish this one, which hopefully I can do tonight, I'm gonna pick up this monster. Alright, this one I'm on chapter 104, not chapter 104, page 104, chapter 7, and I kind of forgot how annoying Lockhart was, and how he misconstrues everything that happens to Harry. It's great. Loving the innocence of this book, because after, like, the fourth one, everything plummeted, and the innocence and the magic of this one, and even this one, like, I know this one's kind of dark, and it has, like, a dark twist to it, and I know this one also has a dark twist to it. They still seem just like kids going on an adventure, like both of these. The fourth one's when things start getting real, and the fifth one, it gets bad after the fifth one, and the sixth one, it gets even worse, and the seventh one is just emotions. Rip. All of them. Rip them all. So I'm rereading The Innocent Days of Harry Potter, and I can't wait. I haven't made any progress since last night in The Way of Kings. I don't know how much I want to read of this tonight. Because I think right now I'm going to focus on finishing this one, and then getting into this one. I do want to finish Way of Kings. I just don't know when and how. Because I just finished a really high fantasy while also reading this one. And I don't know. If I finish this one, I might read a few more chapters of this. We'll see. I'm actually reading this one relatively quickly, at least in comparison of The Fate of the Dwarves. Brandon Sanderson does have an easier writing style to read than Marcus Heights. While I think this is still technically adult, it does read really easily. His writing style is simpler, I guess. I don't want to say it's simple, because that kind of gives a negative connotation to it. It's just not as wordy, I guess is a good way. Like, I know this is like 500 pages, and like combined they're like over 1,000 pages, but he doesn't seem as wordy. So I'm gonna run this downstairs to give my mom so she can start reading it. I'm also going to feed the cats and feed the guinea pigs, and then I'll be upstairs to finish off Chamber of Secrets. I want this one to take me a couple of days just so I can enjoy all this artwork. So I didn't read any Harry Potter books for the Magical Readathon, and now I'm like a month later in the Medievalathon reading 2 Harry Potter books. So, whatever. Oh, these have little quotes on the back. And then like a synopsis. So this one for book 3 is, what you fear the most, or what you fear most of all is fear, Remus Lupin. And in Chamber of Secrets, it says, the diary holds memory of terrible things, things that were covered up, things that happened at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Tom Marvolo riddle. So I'll talk to y'all in a little bit when I have an update for you. It's 8:57. How long can this take me? It's Chamber of Secrets. I've reread it like 3 times. Hi guys! So I'm currently annoyed. My dog is in my room and he's not supposed to be. Toby, say hi. Can you see him? Toby? Hi, Tobe. He's not supposed to be. He is. At all. So I got off work an hour early, which was a little weird, but I think it's because I agreed to work Saturday. And so I changed into this t-shirt thing that I'm probably going to eventually just turn into a normal t-shirt. For reasons that I'm not going to show you. But if you're a girl, I'm sure you understand. So I'm just going to sit right here and talk to you about Prisoner of Azkaban. I am currently on page 24. Okay. Page 24. I managed to get to chapter 3. I read chapters 1 and 2 during my break. And now I'm just going to be reading the rest of it. The artwork here is kind of stunning and quite amusing, actually. So I'm going to go ahead. Hey guys, I want to comment on just how pretty the chapter titles are. Like, the chapter pages are just so pretty. Yeah, I finally got a new SIM card for my camera. Today is Tuesday, the 19th. So, my next mini book haul, which I guess I should just, like, stop doing mini book hauls and in blogs and then just wait until the end of the month, but whatever. Should hopefully be tomorrow, because the stuff is either supposed to get here tomorrow or it's supposed to, or like until like June 20th, I think. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. I did not finish this last night. I am on chapter 21 of 22, and I can't wait to continue on or finish it, so I'll be finishing that up today. And once in future, I kind of hesitate to read this one. I picked it up because I love King Arthur, and I've gotten really into King Arthur recently. But one of the things I dislike in fanfiction is when they change the gender of a character. Like, for example, if you want to pair Harry and Draco together, and then they change Harry to, like, Harriet and make him female, so it's not gay. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like gender bent stories, so I hesitate a little bit with this one because I know it's kind of like a gender bent King Arthur. I guess the only thing that might make it better is the fact that it's like a reincarnation of Arthur. Hey guys, so I have finished Avatar, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. This one's illustrated by Jim Kay. I finished it. I gave it 5 stars. I wish that, like, I could give it more because, like, the story itself is 5 stars and the illustrations just make it so much better. And while I wish there were some things that they did differently, they didn't, so oh well. So I'm gonna go do some errands, then I'm gonna pick up Once in Future. And while I'm running errands, I'll be listening on to Iana. I'm not that far into it, so I don't have any true updates for you. However, I realized I don't really have time to read Iona for 2 reasons. One, it is 18 hours, and I do work. Like, I work 6 hours, 6.5 hours tomorrow and Thursday, and then I work 7 hours on Saturday, and I'm going to be kind of tired, and I'm not going to spend, like, a lot of time working around the house, doing chores on those days. And honestly, Eon and Iona, I kind of feel like I want to read physically. Like, I enjoyed Eon, And I enjoyed listening to it, but I much prefer physically reading those. Mainly because, like, if I get bored, I can, like, put something on as well. Like, I can put on YouTube, and so I can, like, read and then watch some YouTube, and I can't really do that with the audiobook. So I went around and I was looking for duologies that I've already read, or that I have not already read, that I could either start or complete, which I don't have that many of. I've already started and completed Passengers. I've also already read the Six of Crows duology. I've already read Erased 1 and 2. I've already technically read Carry On and Wayward Son, even though I don't think that's supposed to be a duology. The third book just hasn't come out. So in terms of duologies to read, I guess I could read Skyward, but I don't think I have time to read that long of a book. And also, I'm not entirely sure if that one's supposed to be a duology, because I know Starsight just came out, but there might be another book coming out. I don't know. So I was looking, and I realized that in a way, I have been neglecting a whole part of my TBR, and that's my Star Wars TBR. However, I haven't really been neglecting it completely because I am reading Star Wars Kindle books, but as for my physical TBR in Star Wars, it is not getting smaller. And while I'm not entirely sure there are any true duologies within the Star Wars universe, I did find 2 books, The Children of the Jedi and Planet of Twilight by Barbara Hambly. And these both follow, they both follow Luke and this one character named Celesta. And so in both these books, they do follow Luke. Well, they don't really follow. This one follows Luke, as well as Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Chewbacca, but separate journeys for this one. And this is the first one, so I'm going to be reading this one. So they both involve the same character, Celesta, so I believe that even though they might not necessarily be a series, they follow similar events, and so I'm going to count this as a duology, and I'm going to be reading Children of the Jedi instead. This is probably cheating, because this probably isn't technically in, like, terms of true duology. I also didn't actually, like, Google and see if Celesta comes up in another series. And timeline-wise, there's actually another book between these two that is not written by Barbara Hambly. So technically it's cheating, but I'm going to count this as my start or finish a duology, because I have not been doing very well reading the Star Wars books. Like, I have a complete bookshelf of basically, well, it's all Star Wars except for the top, and then the bottom one's not completely full. So I will be reading this one, and I'm going to count it. I know that I've screwed up this TBR. I know I have not read the majority of the books that was on my original TBR. I ended up not reading and switching them out. So I apologize for that, but it's just kind of how life is. I find that either I don't have enough time to read the books that I planned because of ambitious TBRs, or that when I actually get around to the books, I'm not all that excited to read them. And so I end up trying to change them and make it work. So I am a bit of a mood reader, to be completely honest. So if I have a set TBR like this, chances are I will switch things out for, like, different prompts. Like, if I have prompted TBRs, I will switch things out, so I actually complete. Like, I don't want to put myself in a reading slump. That's why I stopped another video I was planning on making, was because it was putting me in such a reading slump, which is why, like, my first week, I think I only finished, like, 1 or 2 books in, like, the first few days, and then I was just reading stuff, and I wasn't completing it, because I was trying to work on this other TBR within that first week, and it just was not working, and it put me in a bit of a slump, even though the books were really, really short and very easy to read.
They just annoyed me so much. I remember these books annoying me a little bit when I was younger, but now I'm reading them as an older person and realizing this is not how people really act, and it got really annoying really fast. So I had to put that on hold, and I will be trying to continue it. I think I managed to make it through 3 days of that, so I think I have 4 more days of that to go through, but eventually we will complete that book. We will complete that. It's just been put on hold. Ripley is being a little brat. Hey, stop that. Stop it. But I love him so much. Ripley, say hi for the camera. Ripley will bite your nose, by the way. Midnight, watch out. Okay. So, yeah, I'm switching out that for this. So I actually have like 8 physical reads to do now. 7 physical reads to do now. Instead of just 6 physical reads in a really long audiobook. Well, the other thing is this is supposed to help bring your TV... Like, I used to bring my TBR down because I buy a lot of books. And I end up not... Like, reading something through Scribd when I don't own it, I feel like is not really helping me. Especially to spend 18 hours worth of time on that one book. So, when I buy it, I might listen to the audiobook. But for now, Children of the Jedi. That was a really long update. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, nope. I'm done. Once in future, I hate it. I'm only on page 48. I haven't even finished, I think, like, the 3rd chapter. I hate it. And I hate it for a lot of the reasons that everyone else seems to hate it. And that's just trying too hard. Like, I'm not that far in, and already we have a non-white character, female-female relationship, and a person who identifies as they. And it's not that bothers me. I've heard that. I'm like, okay, cool. It's the fact that how they do it. First of all, like, you don't even know the main character is Arab. You just know she's from this specific planet. And I thought this planet is rebellious. But then this rebellious planet is apparently, like, inhabited from, like, the old Arabs of Earth. And I was like, okay. That's a little... Do you guys want to meet Toby? Let's start this off on a better note. Do you guys want to meet Toby? This is Toby. He's my collie. He's the only one allowed in my room for 2 reasons. 1, I can't get him out. 2, he won't hurt my cats. Good distressor petting Toby. So, while I rant and hate on this book, you guys can get Toby. Also, just, like, a word. We didn't name him. He came with Toby, and, by the time we thought about renaming him, we had already called him Toby too many times, so we never renamed him. Yeah, it was just how they did it. They did it, where... With, for example, Lamrick or something like that. They call him Lamb. Lamb was the gender fluid guy. And they called him... Or Merlin says, oh, he was a good knight. And they're like, excuse you, he's a they. Or, he had... I don't even know how they phrase it. They're like, dude, Lamb is fluid, they. And I'm like... Very, very... Someone said that it, the way that it reads all these people, and it reads like someone made a checklist of how to be inclusive, and then they just added it. And apparently this is a problem throughout the book, and I'm just Nope, I hate it. Oh, I got it from Half Price Books. Okay, so that makes me feel less bad that I didn't spend like $400 on it by getting it from Barnes & Noble on campus, like I originally thought. Beautiful cover. King Arthur in space. I don't know how you can mess that up. They did. I hate it. So instead, I'm going to use Skyward by Brandon Sanderson for my tall hardcover. I started this back in 2019, and I only got either to 56 or 57, and I just kind of put it down and never picked it back up again. So I heard it's really good. I know I like Brandon Sanderson, so I know Spinza like started to annoy me. That's why I set it down. But I hear she gets better, even like throughout this book. She gets better, and then in the sequel, Starsight, she's even better. So I think I'm just gonna read this. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult because it is significantly longer than the Once and Future, but yeah. I will be reading Skyward and Petting Toby. Although, whether I'm gonna use Ray of Kings or Skyward as the palette cleanser, I don't know. So, debating on if I want to show you guys my clips. I think I'm not going to even include the clips where I talk about... No, I'll include them. You guys deserve my thoughts. But yeah, I hated it. I have a friend who might like it, so I think I'm just going to give Once and Future to her. Maybe she'll appreciate the diversity in it more. And, you know, my problem with it wasn't the diversity, it was how it was done. And there's just like a couple of things that you don't mess up. And I feel like the King Arthur stories is one of them. Oh my gosh, you know what? I bet I'm going to have to read this in my King Arthur Lit class. Let's see if I can find the textbook for that already. I think I don't. I think I already have the textbooks for those. So, but I would hate to like get rid of it and then have to buy it again. If I had to buy it again, I'd just buy it as an ebook so I can undownload it afterwards. Alright, bye guys.